Welcome everybody to the first episode of Throwback Thursday on my channel. So yeah, I kind of wanted to do something new, and so I thought a new series called Throwback Thursday would be a great addition to my channel because it does get a little tiring to review just new car after new car, and especially right now when I don't have too many new cars to even review for you guys. So you know what, we're gonna go back 8 years into 2010 when Chuy the Bulldozer from the Materdor Cars Toon series was released. One of my all-time favorite releases, and I was just able to get one in the package, so I thought it was a great time to do a video on the Bulldozer here. Now, big misconception, his name is not Chuy. It looks like Chuy, but it's actually one of the tricky words. It is pronounced Chuy, so don't say Chuy. That's what I used to say, and my mom was like, what are you talking about? It's Chuy. So anyway, let's get into the video here. I won't be really opening anything up because I already have one open, and this is like extremely rare in the package, like $100 about. Maybe a little less. I got it for a great deal from a Facebook seller, and that really is the way to get good deals, is to make a Facebook account, get in all the cars groups, and whenever someone starts selling their collection, there you go, you pounce. So as you can see, you have this great art, and this is on like wonderful card too, because you know, like the edges here, like these two things and the hook usually get bent, but this one's pretty good. Anyway, Cars Toon, obviously from the short, about like 5 minutes, maybe a little longer, a little shorter, called Materdor. It was the second short release for the Cars Toon series back in like 2009, but they didn't start producing diecast until a year or so later. It does say red hot paint job, obviously, meaning it's really popping, but for a Bulldozer, I don't know about that. I think maybe for Materdor himself, it would be red hot, but not really so much for a Bulldozer. He is a Deluxe, obviously. Chuy, he is number 10, and there is a nice little picture of him from the short. He was the first Bulldozer that Mater had to fight in the ring. Obviously, then came like a whole bunch more of them, but those are unnamed. Collect them all, and you have Cannonball Mater, Materdor Chuy, and the unreleased Daredevil McQueen with flames. Only a handful were made as prototypes. I do have one, although it is extremely damaged, missing a rocket, and only has one flame, but I still may do a video on it in the future. Cannonball Mater got released just fine, a little rare nowadays. Materdor only released internationally, so he's super rare. Now, as for Chuy himself, he is pretty gosh darn rare as well, because not many were made, but he was at least released in the United States. The description for Materdor reads, Mater says he used to be the famous bulldozer fighter Materdor. He and Lightning McQueen battled a ring of angry bulldozers. Is it a true story or a tall tale? Find out in the red hot short film Materdor, and see the adventure again and again at that website. And I believe you can still do that, even though this was released in 2010, very, very long time ago. I mean, really, 8 years ago. That's almost half my life, so that's pretty insane. You have a picture of Materdor up here in the top right corner. I love the wood background because it's supposed to resemble Mater's shack in the junkyard, and obviously that's how all of them started. He would come out and say something, and then the title card would appear, and then you hear him talking to McQueen about this tall tale. So I'll be right back on the table a little lower here to talk about Chuy Loose. So although this video is primarily about Chuy here himself, I do want to comment a little bit more on the short Materdor. So out of all of the Cars Toon shorts that Mattel made diecast for, this is the least amount of diecast they ever did. Now, the thing I said before, like although blah 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 blah, that is so I cover my base because they never released anything for Mater Private Eye. But of all the ones that they did release cars for, Materdor got the short end of the stick with only 3 characters. Chuy, Materdor, and the Padre. Now, Padre, not that hard to find or buy on eBay, not that expensive at all. These two, like I said, pretty expensive. But at least with the Disney store, they released some more characters like the Senoritas that you can see back there, Mia and Tia, and along with Materdor and Lightning McQueen. So that brought it up a little bit more, made the family of Materdor a little bit more extensive, as it should be, because I think it's a great short. Now, if you're looking to get Chuy, you'll probably Google him or search him on eBay, and you might see some nice 13 buckaroo ones from China. Don't be fooled, those are fake. But if you're fine with having a counterfeit fake one that is decent quality, that's a great price. But if you want to get the legit thing, be aware that that is not the legit thing at all. Don't be fooled by the nice price and everything. If you look at the quantities, they have so many of them, it doesn't even make sense that they'd be real. But anyway, this is a real deal one that I got back in the day. Can't remember if I found him or not, but I think I didn't have much trouble getting him back in 2010. I love that expression. He's got that mean bull face. Of course, he has the bull ring there right in front of the grill. He has the pail here, the shovel, which does not move. It's plastic. The only part of him that is metal is like the cab portion right here and this back portion. There is a lot of plastic on him, so he's pretty light for a deluxe. The treads don't move either. He does have 4 little brown wheels on the bottom that help him roll. But the treads are still nicely detailed. You can see like all the gears, all the individual tires that wouldn't necessarily, or that would turn if the treads did work, which would be pretty awesome. But usually they don't work on die-cast toys because it's just too expensive to get right. On the back here, you can see like a little chain that comes off of the back. My best guess for the purpose of this chain is to hook him to a bunch of other bulldozers or like some sort of leash to corral them all into one spot, you know, kind of control them like they do with like real life bulls or cows, you know, like the owner of the ring or whatever. You can see some other details on the back here like the silver dots, indentations, which is really nice. This part actually does not come off. It does on another version. I'll show you guys that in a second, but basically smokestacks with the cool, you know, gray silver horns here, which obviously, again, like I said, are supposed to be the smokestacks. And it seems like it's a common trend that the smokestacks are always horns. For example, Miss Fritter here, who school bus not really supposed to have horns because this is supposed to be like an animal. Miss Fritter would be like a person if everything was converted over into real life, and yet she still has horns. But anyway, that's pretty much it for Chuy here. Like I said, another version, and that is referring to the Playset version, released also in 2010. Now, yeah, I know what you're thinking. I did give my Chuy from the Playset a black eye because out of all the bulldozers in the short, they all look the same except for one. One had a black eye, so I thought, I know what to do. And yeah, I kind of made my first custom, although I seriously regret it because this is pretty rare and I just really devalued it. But I'm not looking to sell it anytime soon, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But some differences between the two are that the tread colors are different, darker on the real version. The pail hangs a little lower. It actually kind of scrapes against the ground. The horns are, you know, a little bit lower as well. And like I said, these do come off, I believe. Yeah, if you just got wiggled up, there you go. I think this was like how you had to assemble it in the playset. So you can just, you know, slide it back in there. There we go. Oh, I did forget to mention the decal here on the side of all these cars. You got 7 sedans or coupes or whatever there, and that is basically his kill count, or cars that he defeated, not necessarily killed, I guess. But it's a little like, whoa, Chuy, what are you doing there? But I guess it's more like all the times he has won, like 7 different times. He didn't win against Materdor for sure, at least not yet. Or maybe, you know, he did. You never really get to see the end because they were surrounded there, and then McQueen like kind of drove them off. But who knows what could have happened? Is it a true story? Is it a tall tale? I don't know. But that is all for this episode 1 of Throwback Thursday. Let me know in the poll right there in the top right hand corner if you want to see more of these reviews. And I also will probably in the future like open it up to suggestions, like what car do you want me to review for Throwback Thursday. But right now, I want to see if the interest is there. If it's not, I won't continue it, no worries. But if you guys do, cool, I'll do it next week or whenever I can. Can't promise it will be exactly a weekly series because I'm going to be super busy with AP tests, stuff like that. I did just take my SAT and ACT, so hopefully that is out of the way and all clear to go. But you just never know what could happen in the future. So I'll see you guys next time for another video, probably this weekend. See you guys then. Bye now.